begin this lesson with a story. So there were a young couple, recently married, and they decided that they were going to have their first holiday meal together. And she always made roast beef on special occasions. So she was preparing the roast beef and getting it ready, and her new husband is watching, and they're just all excited about their first holiday together. And she gets the pan out and lines the pan and sets the oven and gets a knife and cuts off both ends of the roast beef and puts it in the pan. And he goes, "Honey, can I ask you a question?" She's like, "Yeah, sure. Why are you cutting off both of the ends of the roast beef before you put it in the pan?" She goes, "Psst, that's just the way you make a roast beef. That's the way you do it." And he's like, "All right." So he let it go, no big deal. The next year, after their first anniversary together, they go to her mom's house for the holiday. And so he's very excited, and he enjoys the company of his new family, and he sneaks into the kitchen to watch Mom prepare the roast beef. Just curiosity, it's got kind of stuck in the back of his head, this whole cutting off the ends of the roast beef thing. So he goes in and he sits down, he's talking to Mom and sipping his wine, and she puts the pan out and sets the oven and cuts off the ends of the roast beef and puts it in the pan. "Mom, why do you do that? Why do you cut off the ends of the roast beef?" She goes, "That's just the way you make roast beef." He's like, "Alrighty then." So the following year they go to Grandma's house. And it's really now become an issue for him. He's like mulling it over all the time, checking out on the internet, Googling, cut off the ends of the roast beef. Can't find anything. So he sneaks in when Grandma's preparing the roast beef, and he sits down and he's talking to Grandma. Then he's telling her, "The first year that I spent with my wife, I watched her, and I really enjoy sitting in the kitchen and watching her prepare the meal. And last year I sat with your daughter. Mom is great. I love her, and watched her prepare the roast beef. So you don't mind if I sit and watch you and keep you company?" And she's like, "Oh, of course not." So she sets the oven, and gets her pan out, gets the roast beef out, puts the herbs on it. She's talking to him, sipping her wine, and he's sipping his wine, and they're just having the greatest time. And she takes roast beef and throws it in the oven. He goes, "Mom, Grandma, you forgot to cut off the ends of the roast beef." She goes, "Honey, I bought a new pan years ago." So this is the reason that I told this story this morning, is to remind us in a humorous way that sometimes when we come against challenges in our life and difficulties in our life, you know what we do? Things that don't work, things that no longer serve us, things that we've learned from rote, things maybe we learned from Mom or Grandma, that they have already learned from and moved on, but we continue to do. Sometimes we don't know why we do what we do. So change is a good thing, right? And stress is a good thing, right? No. It's like everybody's like, "Yeah, no, stress is not a good thing." Actually, if you think about it, in all seriousness, you could apply the same lesson to stress. How do we cope with our stress? Do we view our stress in a way so that it doesn't serve us? Or do we view our stress in a healthy way so that we understand that it's intended to help us? And this is really important. When I first gave this lesson years ago, I told the story about a bear in the woods. And how, this hiker is out in the woods and they come across a bear, and the bear moves towards them and they become frightened. Their heart rate increases. They have a boost of adrenaline. Blood is flowing through all their limbs. Everything is clear and crisp. They see everything. They hear everything. They turn. They run out of the woods. Looking behind them. The bear is behind them. They get in the car and they drive away. The stress of that situation served that person so that they could do what they normally wouldn't be able to do. They ran faster than normal. They had the ability to breathe more quickly and move more quickly and see and think more quickly than they normally would because of the chemical reaction of the situation on their body and their mind, the stress of the situation. So this is the issue that I have with stress. So many times I get a phone call. Hey, Suzanne, I just can't take it anymore. It's just too much. The job is hard. I don't feel good. I have a new relationship. My head hurts. My kids are bugging me. It's overwhelming. It's just too much. I can't do it anymore. What can't you do anymore? What can't you do anymore? Your life? You can't do your life anymore. Really?
Try to get out of that one.
You can't. There's no getting out.
No.
There's no getting out. The getting out is allowing that stress to fill you so that you change, so that you use it, so that it benefits you, so that you become more focused, more clear, stronger, more thoughtful, faster. And each stress, how should that be handled? So you have this unsurmountable problem. And guess what? You move through it. You move through it. What happens when you get to the other side? Ow! Right?
Victory.
You're the victor. You win. You're successful. How do you feel about that? Do you feel stronger? Heck yeah. Do you feel smarter? Oh yeah. You feel blessed? You're special now, right? Because you overcame this incredible challenge. What happens when the next challenge comes? Hey, Pastor Suzanne, I can't take it anymore. This problem is unsurmountable. So, I mean, you've already overcome this incredible obstacle, this amazing challenge, this stressful situation that has you so paralyzed you can't even make it into church. You can't reach out to your friends. You can't pray. You can't meditate. Come on, really? Sure you can. Sure you can. You choose not to. You choose to allow the outside things to affect the inside stuff, when really the inside stuff should be affecting the outside stuff. So your peace, your calm, your focus, your ability to deal with challenges should make it much easier each time a new stressful situation is presented. You already know that you've won before. Why wouldn't you win again?
Right.
What's different this time? Are you less capable?
Mm-mm.
You're more capable every time. Every single time. So the first time you're in the woods and you see the bear and you freak out, right? What happens the second time you see the bear? I got this. The third time you see the bear? The fourth time you see the bear, you don't need to see the bear. You already know the bear is there because you can smell the bear, you can hear the bear, you see the bear tracks. You will learn each time to trust. To trust yourself, to trust spirit, to trust the tools and the skills that you have honed as a spiritual person to overcome stress. Yes, we have physical disabilities. Yes, we have things that make it more difficult sometimes to handle situations and circumstances. Absolutely. Absolutely. But think about this. How many people do you know that have situations and circumstances, just physical circumstances, that are more challenging than yours? Draw strength from them. They can do it. You can do it. What do they have that you don't have? Nothing. Nothing. Except desire to do so. You have to fan the desire to overcome the obstacles and the stress and the limitations that you have in order to overcome them. Or you succumb to them. Then what happens? Do things get better? You succumb to stress. You isolate yourself. You cry. You become depressed. You don't meditate. You don't pray. You don't reach out to your friends. What happens? It gets better?
Nope.
I just needed some time. I needed some time. So you took the time. Yeah? Did it go away?
Nope.
No,
Nope.
it didn't go away. So you can hide under a rock. Eventually, someone's going to lift the rock up. You're going to have to deal with the situation all over again, the stressful situation all over again. And I'm not saying that there's not stress that passes. You know, sometimes there's things that happen that occur for a short time and then they go away. Really, what I'm talking about here is your ability to identify that stress and overcome it by using the tools that you have. So the number one thing that you should be doing to overcome stress is what? Meditating, praying, reaching out for friends to talk to that can encourage you and upbuild you. You should certainly never go to church. Find time to spend in creation. Walk in the park, walk on the beach, commune with the divine. Put things in perspective. Put things in their proper perspective. We know this is all an illusion, right? This is all an illusion. There's a much bigger picture here. So if we allow one stressful situation, some coworker that's driving me crazy, to affect my eternal and immortal journey, really? I don't think so. I don't think so. That this one person is going to call into question the anointing on my life, my purpose, my soul's journey? I don't think so. So stress is good. Stress makes diamonds.
Yeah.
And each and every single one of you are incredibly beautiful diamonds. So welcome the pressure. Welcome the stress. It will refine you. Don't let it define you. And I leave that with you with this blessing. You can turn it off now.
I could do a de-stress meditation if you want.
That would be wonderful.
Would you like that?
I would love